What is up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is January 17th, 2020, and we're back at again on the charts for another session. Hopefully everyone can hear me and the audio is good. So before we start today's session, I do want to have some admin stuff. For those that are on YouTube, please give us a like and a subscribe at Forex Lens. Forex Lens Inc. Just go ahead and subscribe. Have the notifications on, so every time we go live or post a new video, you always get notified. We have different stuff. We have Ichimoku, GAN, Renko charts, and then we have stochastic scalping strategies, risk management, how to avoid stop hunts. We have a lot of educational content on our YouTube. All you have to do is subscribe, have the bell notification on, and every time we upload content every day, every single day, you're going to get new educational content completely free. And if you want to join our community in our portal, in our nice little portal right here where we have a chat, just go to forexlens.com/forex-trading-room and sign up for either a free membership or a full access membership. This includes all our signals, all our sessions, and I'll be giving a 25% off coupon code at the end of the session, so you can get 25% off for your first month, so stay tuned for that. So without further ado, I'm going to make sure the chat is ready to go. For those that are on YouTube, while I go through some of these trades that we took this week, I want you guys to send me some pair recommendations and tell me what you think about the trades that we're taking. It's always nice to get another opinion, and that way at the end of the session we have some pairs I can look at. So if you want me to look at things like Aussie yen or some exotics, just let me know in the chat, and I'll help you out. So this week was pretty solid. We had some good trades, and we had one or two trades that were kind of affected by the news, but we try to stay as far as away as possible. For example, Euro yen and USD yen were a bit affected by the trade deal, but I think we weathered that storm pretty well and found other trade setups to bring in some profits. And the first one is EURUSD. So if you look, I did a live session on December 13, 2019, and it was called Bold Predictions for the Forex Market in 2020. And for EURUSD, you can watch the full analysis on our website, but on our YouTube. But my overall bias was short term was a short and long term was a short. If you look in the video, I have EURUSD going as low as 1.07300. We obviously have to take out these levels first, and the first level we have to take out is 1.09960. If we go to the chart, we can see we're coming very close to that level, and we're almost there at that level. And so when we take that level out, we're going to go to this previous low, 1.10700, and then we'll trickle our way down to the level we just talked about, 1.10000 or 1.09960, so that area. So we're kind of like 40% of the way there to take out this low, and then we have this target, which is 1.08600, and then finally 1.07300. So we are very bearish for the euro. That's because we're bullish on the dollar. We think the dollar's going to have a great year this year. Last year was more focused on cutting rates and dealing with the trade war and trying to create jobs within the country. But now that phase one of the U.S.-China trade deal is signed, and have a stronger dollar, a more dominant dollar, and unemployment's at a 50-year low, CPI, core retail sales, consumer confidence, all of that hit 19-year highs. So it's going pretty good, and NFP was, they didn't add as many jobs as they wanted to last week, but unemployment still stayed low, and so the dollar, we're bullish. I think Powell does not want to cut rates anymore, so we're going to see the dollar kind of get its dominance back. And with that being said, I do see euro going lower because euro is still dealing with some political stuff, and the German auto industry and French PMI is struggling. I think it will continue to struggle. So we'll see what happens with them, because next week we do have the ECB stuff for the euro. So let's see what they do with their rates. But I doubt they might go for a cut. They've already been doing quantitative easing already. So at some point, there's going to be diminishing returns from cutting rates. So we'll see what happens next week. So next week will be interesting. but a pretty solid. And for yesterday, for the guys in the live session, I made it pretty clear that we drew this ascending channel, right? Because EURUSD, from the first time we shorted it, we got our 60 pips. It started to go into a retrace mode back to this trend line from our descending channel in the monthly time frame. I drew this ascending channel, and I told you guys, if you see by this arrow, if we get a break, we're going to continue our short. We're going to enter short, and obviously we got a very clear break on the 1 hour, and we're melting. So these are our targets that are laid out. And I did say I was going to send this chart work on Telegram, but I asked the team, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion. So for those of you on chat and on Portal, importantly, do you want me to create a separate channel just for my chart work? Or do you want me to send in the chart work the same place I send signals? I think having a separate channel might be better, because some of you might just only want my chart work and not really care for the signals. And plus, there's people that are signal members and there's people that's trade room members, and so it might not be fair to the trade room members that people in the signal only service are getting all the chart work as well. So let me know what you guys think. But in yesterday's session, I made it clear as day. I even drew an arrow that once we get that break, we're just gonna melt out, and I'm pretty confident that next week we're gonna take out these targets. But ECB will definitely be interesting. We have ECB next week and the PMI, so for French and German. So it's going to be definitely an interesting week for the euro, and we'll see what happens. But currently we're resting around 30 pips in profit, so it's not bad. It is a Friday, so you might want to close out if you're in profit, or move your stops to entry, or take half, because the market's going to close within a few hours anyway, so be safe with that. So that was a nice trade that just got activated in the last 24. And then we had pound yen. Earlier in the week, we had a short on pound yen. The idea is not up right now, but we took a short simply from resistance 143, and we had a target down here. Let me just plot the actual setup. So the setup looked something like this. Stop loss was pretty tight, and like this. So it was a nice, around 2.0 risk reward. Off resistance, we had a nice push down. We got about, let's say, 70 pips in that move, around 70 pips, before price swang back up, and our partial position got stopped at entry. So that's fine, but you can see pound yen, the levels are so clean that this next resistance, price reacted so well to it, and pound yen started dropping. If you look to the left, you can see why we drew that level. Nice resistance here. Look left again, we can see when we went to that huge rally from Boris Johnson's winning the election, we came back down and we even capped under this level. So a very solid resistance. And if you caught this trade using our simple price action strategy, you could have been up another 50 pips. And so all we're going to look for next week, since this entry was missed, I was technically asleep, but anyways, next week we're going to look for a break below this next resistance right here, 143.425. If we get a bearish closure below, we're probably going to head lower, probably down back to this level or somewhere there. So a good amount of pips can be made there. So EURUSD, pound, yen for next week is going to be solid, but pretty solid setup. And at Forex Lens, we like to be transparent, so we don't always discuss our winners. I mean, we do discuss losses if they happen. And so one of them was Euro Yen. And I said this yesterday, and it's happening, and it's hurting my soul. I said yesterday that Euro Yen is going to become a short in the next day, and I'm going to be pretty mad about it. But basically, if you look at the analysis, it was on the 4 hour. We had a nice 4 hourly resistance zone right here. And so what we did in, I think, Tuesday, we had this rejection, this evening star, and this bearish candle as confirmation. I was like, okay, it's time to go short. We entered short. We went into around 5 pips of profit. And then this next candle just popped back up. And I'm like, that's interesting. And then this candle happened. So I was thinking maybe it's a break, retest, rejection. But we didn't get a candle closure below these previous highs. And so we ended up getting stopped around a 50 pip loss. And in yesterday's session, I'm like, I know for a fact that this thing is going to set up for a short. It's going to be annoying that way, and you can see it's probably going to start trickling down moving into next week. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't get attached to trades. This trade's available to take next week, so not too worried about it. And it goes in line with our EURUSD short. So we'll have EURUSD short, Euro Yen short, and Pound Yen short. So awesome. And Euro Yen's already shaping up to give us an entry. All we need is a close below this previous support. When we attempted to short earlier in the week, this level in particular where the horizontal ray is 122.200 is what we used as support. We came down here, support. So 3 days, 2-3 days of using it as a support, and currently right now price is stalling, struggling to break below. So Sunday and Monday we're gonna look for a break below to continue our move down. Obviously we could go as far as down here, so all the way down here based on the previous range, or we could just end right here where our initial take profit was. So we'll see what happens, but either way, it's a 2.33 risk reward setup. Why not take it? Hey, someone on YouTube, I am checking YouTube messages, so send me a shout out, any trade recommendations. Checking from Milwaukee. So Big G Dub said checking from Milwaukee. Growing my account using 1 to 2% takes a long time. Getting more and more consistent. So thanks for all the great help. No worries. And I know going for 1 to 2% is pretty slow, but that's what Forex is about. It's all about that slow compounded growth. It's like any other investment. It's like stocks or anything like that. Because when you risk too much, the ability to lose and blow your account out grows exponentially. So I always recommend start with a good balance and trade based on your needs. So I know I'm taking a bit of I'm going a bit off topic here, but we'll look at the pairs after. But quick side note is like if you're trading Forex to pay your bills, you need to at least start with trading around 10 to 15K. Right, because 10K, 1% is 100, right? So you're aiming for 100 per trade. That makes sense, right? When your bills are probably like 8 to 1200 a month, depending on where you live. If you have a $500 account and you're trying to pay bills using Forex, that's not the way to go. You might have better luck going to the casino and just taking a gamble. So trade based on your expectations. If you want Forex to pay for your bills and you don't have enough money to trade with, start small, build it up, and work that 9 to 5. Once you have enough saved, go full-time trading, get good guidance, use a good strategy, and you're set. So I appreciate the kind comment, BG Dub. Hopefully I can continue to help you on your journey. Next trade, so this is our first loss, but it could be turned into a winner next week. Not too bothered. The other loss was USD Yen, so this pair... where's that chart we drew to this week? Oh, right here, cool. So similar story with USD Yen, and most of it's because of the US-China trade deal that was signed this week, but I didn't think it was going to be affected that much. I thought it was going to be already priced in. But another 45 pip loss. We had a similar entry on 4-hour resistance. We had the rejection. We had a evening star. I like to call it a teardrop candle to go short. But obviously price had other expectations and we got stopped out. So pretty annoying, but it happens. I mean, we had tons of winners. So let's talk about the winners. Change the mood. USD Yen. Now that we're bullish on the dollar, I'm not really looking to short anyways, but another winner we had, which was great, was NZDUSD, and this was a pair recommendation someone in our chat asked for, and we found a great setup not only for this week, but moving into 2020. I'm bearish on NZDUSD. The analysis starts all the way from the weekly. Actually, we can even go to the monthly. So on the monthly, you can see we have a nice trend line dating back from 2014. We had a visit in 2018, and then you can see in 2020 on the monthly time frame. Look at the bearish candle we're printing on this trend line, off this trend line. This is a very nice rejection candle. And so I'm looking to go short back to this support region for NZDUSD. And you can see it's historically been a nice support dating back to 2004. So back to 2004, 16 years ago. This support region, this zone, has been a nice kind of support, kind of demand zone for NZD USD. So we're targeting that as a target. You can kind of see prices getting squeezed in. Sellers are just pushing and pushing and pushing NZD USD lower and lower, and so that's our overall long-term target. This week we got an intraday entry. Nothing too major, but we did get our 40 to 55 pips on this trade. Not bad. So it was a very simple. You can see the rejection on the trend line, and then we had a closure below support. All we did, very simple, was we drew a trend line like such, connecting our higher highs and higher lows. When we got the break of the trend line, we just shorted it. We even had a break, retest, rejection, and yeah, we didn't look back since. 50 pips on this one, and then since then our partial position did get stopped at an entry, but this is why we always, once we get to 25 pips or a take profit one, we close half our position and we take profits. We don't get greedy, because the Forex market only gives profits to a select few, and it only gives a select amount of profits, okay, so take what you can get and get out, and 50 pips is pretty good. So you can see, since we got stopped out, our partial position, it did make a rally back to another key level that we drew, and since then it fell out, and now it's looking like a short again. So that's awesome for us. I'm not too worried about missing on this, but what we do have next week is we're probably going to be, by Monday, by the end of Monday or midday, we're probably going to be back at 0.675843. And all we have to do from there on out is look for a break below that level, break somewhere down here, to continue our move to this key level. And we're going to just rinse and repeat, go down to the next one. So that's what we'll be looking for. Overall, the idea looks amazing. So we have a bunch of trades, and they're all shorts. And based on my track record for 7 years, I've always been able to identify shorts more than longs. My short trades are more accurate. I don't know why, but it's looking good. So NZD USD, good profits, more to come. Another trade was USD CHF, and that was from another pair recommendation. Someone in the chat just said, hey, can you look at USD CHF? Or I think someone asked, can you teach me how to draw levels? And I taught him and actually found a setup in the process of doing so. So USD CHF, very simple trade idea. It's also a long-term trade, and we did go quite a way. So our entry was right here at 0.97 thousand. Very little drawdown, very little drawdown at all. And we went far as 0.96147. So close to 85 pips on this trade. Since I sleep, I'm in Eastern time zone. I only got the first take profit, so I didn't get the rest of this. But many of people, we have clients in Europe, Australia, China, Philippines, Malaysia, Africa, so US, so they catch it in different time zones, but profit's profit, so don't get greedy. That's why we aim for 300 pips per week, not only just because it's a nice number, but you're not over leveraging, right? 300 pips per week means 60 pips a day. That's doable without over leveraging, over risking your account. So pretty solid. This trade idea is still pretty valid. Yesterday we did talk that we could probably retrace back up, but the idea looks solid. We do have, I think, around another 100 pips to go to our final take profit. So next week we'll see if we can get an entry, but we already have like 4 or 5 trades in mind, so I'm not really looking to force that issue. And then last night, on my phone, I found a pretty decent kind of scalp mini trade, if you want to call it. That was a euro pound, quick little short. It was a very quick in and out trade, and boom. So this was a trade idea. It was based off a sell stop, and I don't really like using sell stops unless I'm going to sleep. I'd rather watch the price action. And it's called on Telegram. First take profit was hit. We almost had our second take profit hit as well. I think we were like 7 pips off, which is fine, as long as our first take profit was hit. A quick, I think, 18 to 20 pips. I just thought we should get that just because the setup was there, and I was on my phone, and I'm like, we have to take this trade. So that's awesome. And I think I'm missing another trade, but Aussie. I'm missing Aussie. So I'm going to cover Aussie, and then we're going to do pair recommendations. So Awesome. You're gonna hold. So big G Dub's gonna hold NSD for the rest of the month. That's awesome. I'm gonna look at Aussie dollar. Then I'm gonna check the chat for any pair recommendations. That's on YouTube and our portal. I'll get you guys in a sec, and then we can move on from there. So Aussie dollar, we wanted to short this thing since Monday, and it was just taking forever. So Aussie dollar, on Monday's session, we drew this arrow. Basically, we were saying when price retraces up to this zone, we want a rejection candle to take us lower. And you can see on the daily, we had 4 days of just consolidation. So we finally have that bearish reaction, the rejection that we wanted. And we have our target in mind. It's all the way down here, 0.66970 or 0.67 and the 4-hour shows a pretty decent entry even right now. If today was Tuesday, I'd enter, but since it's Friday, I'm gonna hold out. But you can see, this is a push up into the resistance zone. We consolidated above this level. You can see support. That's why we draw that level, and we got to break below that level. That's our guarantee, our confirmation that we're headed lower. And by the end of Monday, midday Monday, we'll be at 0.68500 at the bottom of this take profit region. And what we'll be looking for is a break below that level to take us lower, because it is a pretty good support. So that is all the pairs for the week I think I've covered. Let me know what you guys want to do. Should I create a different Telegram just for my charts, or send them in my Signal group? So let me know. At this point, I'm going to check all the chats on Portal and on YouTube. So if any pair recommendations, guys, please let me know, and I'll check them out. So let me see the chat. How do I? Okay. Tommy, good call on EURUSD, Euro Pound. Went double lot for Euro Pound. Nice. I don't think I said Euro Pound was a scalp. But yeah, it's good that you went double lot, because it was pretty much a scalp. Janny, trendline break on EU, going short. Yes, that is awesome. That was the plan all along. Edward, I'm a trade room member. I joined for signals, but currently not all the trade signals are sent out. Several trades this week you log as profits that were never sent out as signals. I get that you can't be on Telegram. Can you please send out the setups even if they're pending orders? Okay, so Edward, so the thing about our sessions, I think you've watched a few by now, is that most of the time the entry is not there. For example, so let's take Aussie USD for example. So I just told you guys that we're going to enter short if we get the break below this level. Now usually I plot out the stop loss and take profit like I did here. So let me just put this here for example. Let's say, just to make an example, I'm glad you're asking this question. I think one of the support agents did tell me about your comment. So let's say, on Monday's session, I'm like, hey guys, trade room members, for Aussie dollar, if we get a break below 0.68510, we're going to go short. Our stop loss will be here, where this red line is. You can see this dark red, 0.68647 right here. Our take profit will be, 0.68133 and then 0.68000. Okay, and price is here. Okay, so after I do the lives, I actually do the recap. So the emails you get every day, I actually write those and I send them out, and I do a bunch of educational content throughout the day for Forex Lens. So while I'm doing that, I have no access to the charts. I mean, I do, but since I'm so occupied with the rest of the things I do, I can't really watch the charts. And then I have a commute home, which is pretty long. And then when I get home, I go to the gym. I eat dinner. I have other things like I have to do, because from 9 to 5, it's Forex. That's my life. And then during the night, right before I go to sleep, if I see the signal and the entry is available, I'll call it. If it's not, I'm going to go to sleep. And during London session, for some reason, there's a reason to it, most of the moves happen. So most of the moves tend to play out during London session. And so this is why starting now, I'm going to be sending out the chart work in a separate channel for the trade room members, so you can see what needs to happen. It's going to be very, very simple. That's just our strategy. A break below, a bearish closure below a level, you can enter short. Sometimes I want to break retest rejection. I can always show you what that is during the live. and you enter. This is the way you're going to get all the setups, and at the same time you build confidence and you learn how to trade on your own. But when I'm awake and or it's a slow day at work, and I have a trading alert come in and the signal is available, I'll call the signal as is. But that is the reasoning behind it, and so hopefully that makes sense. I don't use pending orders unless I absolutely have to and I'm going to be asleep. Because the thing with pending orders is, for example, let's look here. So you know how I said we want to break below this level to go short, and we want a bearish break. Sometimes what happens is price could do a fake out. So if you use pending orders, you have a pending order here, and that's all you do for entering trades. Price could come here, activate your trade, and then go and stop you out. So this is why we like to watch price action manually as much as you can. Just look for the price action to happen. Set an alert at this level. So if RP says a break below this level, set an alert. When you get that alert on your phone, go on the chart and see the price action. If it's a if it's a bearish candle, enter short, right? If a break, retest, rejection happen, enter short. However, if it's like a candle like this, like a hammer, don't enter short. So that's why I don't use pending orders, except for when I'm going to sleep and I think the setup is a high trade setup, high probable setup. Then I'll send one like last night. That's why I don't always do pending orders or really do them. Since we mainly focus on price action, we like to watch price action because fake outs do happen. So hopefully that helps, Edward. I will be creating a separate Telegram just for the trade room members to get the setups, and it's going to be very simple, instructions to enter. I mean, this is pretty simple. Bearish closure below here, go ahead and enter short. Here's your stop loss, take profit level. So hopefully that clears you up. Yeah, that's also a nice idea, Jenny. If you guys are like, on the chat or, throughout the day, you can always log on and talk here and communicate with each other and say, hey guys, EURUSD is available to enter. Let's go. We can even be like, hey, do you guys think EURUSD is ready to enter? Like during the day, I do check on the portal chat, because some people usually have questions and I try to get to them. So that's a good idea. That's actually a great suggestion. That's actually really smart. Can you please look at CHF yen? Yes, sure. So yeah, Edward, hopefully that answers your question. And the Telegram channel with the setups will probably solve this. But we've been doing this since April, and we never really had too much of an issue. But I think enough people are asking that we'll do this. So that is no issue, no problem with that at all. So. CHF yen. Let's take a look. I did say I don't want to touch the yen. I would not touch the yen with the fork, or even a pole right now, just because of the stuff going on. But the trade deal signed. That's great. U.S. and Iran aren't going to really do too much, so I think we're good to start looking at the yen again. But it was just this week in particular. So, taking a look at Swiss yen, and I used to actually like trading this pair. In general, I love trading the Swiss pairs. They tend to respect levels very well, and there's a reason for that. They like to keep their currency at fixed levels, so that's why they respond to technical as well. Anyways, so first off, we're just going to draw our key levels of significance. So go ahead and draw our zones. So we have a nice resistance zone up here. Yeah, a semi decent support zone here. We spent, I think, a few months down here, so that's cool. Okay, so cool. We have a cute little levels right here. Can we draw any trend line? I guess we could. It's not the cleanest trend line, but let's see. So you can right off the bat, you can see we did break a long-term monthly trend line with this candle. So just based off of this, let me see who asked. I gotta start getting used to names. Nayaz Khan. So, let me know what you think from this. I'm thinking long. Obviously the best entry was probably somewhere down here, maybe after this candle. But just based off the monthly, you can see it's long. The momentum's there, and this resistance zone is really gonna magnetize a lot of these contracts to go there. So, that looks pretty good to me. Actually, there is a sneaky level here. We can draw on the weekly, but it might be better to draw on the weekly. But you can see we have 3 zones. So this resistance zone, this secondary support, you can see here. 2014 we used it as support, and this is many months. So half a year we spent it above, resting on this support. We spent another, 6 months in 2017 resting above this support, and we finally got that break below support. So we had a sell off, and currently we're jumping back above. So that's cool. Let's take a look at the weekly, see what's there. So the weekly is a lot better. You can kind of see the support come into play. This secondary one, we've had rallies above this, and if we extend this over, you can see. So from the secondary support, we did have a previous rally to this resistance. We had a rally here. We had a rally here. So definitely, this is what I'm targeting for pound yen. It's not a bad setup, actually. It's not really a bad setup to enter now. Well, I think we can maximize our risk to reward if we get a better entry. So now we're going to plot our weekly levels. Right off the bat, I do see weekly resistance right here. You can see, wick. Bunch of wicks here, bunch of wicks here, bunch of wicks here, bunch of wicks here. So awesome. So that looks good. And then after this weekly resistance, we have this blue resistance. So these are, possible take profit levels or entry levels that you can look for. And if we look right now, we're at 113.800, and the next level is 1500, 1115 flat. So 115 flat. That's around how many pips? 120 pips. So we're 120 pips away from the next level. Janny said gold. I'll look at gold. Pound NSD. I'll look at that. What's my Telegram? To get my Telegram, just message at the Forex Lens on Telegram. So on Telegram, just message at the Forex Lens, and they'll help you out. So I'll look at those pairs. I see you guys recommending them. So guys, I might wait for something on the daily to give me another entry. Because you can see on the daily we're kind of starting to retrace. And so what I do, Nayaz, is probably wait for price to come back down to the support. And when it comes back down, it's probably going to be a fib level. Let's actually see which fib level that will be. Swing high to swing low. Swing low to swing high. You can see right here. So, yeah, it's right at the 38.2 fib level. So, look for some sort of, bullish reaction off the support, This is a previous low, this is the next high, so it is due to make a next low. So that low could probably be down here, and if we do get some sort of, bullish reaction, and what I mean by bullish reaction is a bullish hammer, bullish engulfing. So this is a bullish engulfing candle right here, so let me zoom in. And this is a classic bullish engulfing. So, there's a different definitions for bullish engulfing, but this is the textbook definition. This candle right here, as you can see, the body of this candle just engulfs it, covers the body of this bearish candle, and this is a nice entry point to go long. You can see right here. Another definition of bullish engulfing is when you have a candle like this that's bigger than the past 5 candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be just barely bigger than this one, but that's just an example. So we did have a nice textbook bullish engulfing candle, so there is bullish momentum here. So all we're going to look for is maybe a retrace back to the support and see what happens. But do take in mind, Nayaz, that this could just be due to the trade war. The U.S. and Iran stuff, because the safe haven might have gotten stronger during that time of tension, and that's what safe havens do. So just be cautious. The entry to go long is better if you go from here, and then you can target the first, the next weekly resistance with the setup like this. So, and your stop loss is going to be below the support, right? Let me go back to the weekly so this is clearer. So boom, and this is your setup. So this is our weekly support. You can see right here, our stop loss is going to be just a bit below, in case price does want to, consolidate, we don't get stopped out, and our take profits there. So 2.0 risk to reward setup, pretty solid, and the momentum is definitely there. You even have a bullish engulfing on the weekly time frame, so that's solid. So hopefully that is what you think about CHF yen, pound, NSD, and gold. So I'll look at those two. awesome, Edward. Yeah. So it was just the business model that we had since April, of just keeping signals one thing and then the trading room setup's another. But I think this will be easier for everyone to keep track and kind of stay on top, especially if they miss a session or two. So this weekend I'll set up that Telegram, and I'll add everyone in, and you have all my chart work there. So you can also message me on Telegram, and I'll help you if you need clarification. But yeah, awesome. So pound NSD. But yeah, Edward, and any of you guys, for Forex Lens, customer satisfaction is number one, always. So if you guys have any recommendations, concerns, comments, let us know. We're always going to cater to you guys more so than anything. So I'm happy you spoke out about it, Edward. I think you were the push we needed to get this all figured out. Pound NSD. So we know that the NSD. We'll actually just clean this up. We'll start from scratch. We know NSD is probably going to fall over the next few months. At least that's what I believe. And so with the NSD falling, we might see the pound NSD gain. It's not always the case with inverses, but it's looking like that way. So first off the bat, we're going to just draw our resistance region. So we do have a pretty solid resistance region here. And support region down somewhere here, like such. This is a really good support. Right off the bat, I want to short this thing right now. I'd go full margin on this short. I'm joking, but it does look like a good short. So we have a pretty solid support region dating back to 2013, coming into play all through 2018, all through 2019. And, a solid resistance zone. Price try to go higher. This is why I wait for a break and retest. This was a break. Price came down to retest. There was no rejection to go higher. So anyone that entered based off this monthly probably got faked out. But for us, it's looking like it might be a nice short back down to here. That's mega pips. So let's take a look on the weekly, see what's up. So on the weekly, you can kind of see, the break above. And there was a retest, but there was no rejection. A rejection is a closure above the high that you created when you broke the level. So a rejection in this case would have been a bullish candle above this level. Obviously, we didn't get it, and yep, we got whoever entered got hurt. But we are in a good spot to get an entry. So right now, price is pushing back below this resistance, and it's coming to retest it. So we're getting that break or retest. All we want is a rejection, and it's going to be very, very simple for this one. All we want is this. We want a bearish closure below the previous high. The previous low. And that low was created by the break. So we had the break, and we had a second, we had a confirmation candle. So if we get a closure below this level, and this is 1.94330, we're headed lower to the support zone. Okay, and it's a pretty solid level to look at, because this was the last swing low we made when we made that rally. So this level definitely has some importance. And we're on the weekly. The pound does move very aggressively, and it's very volatile. So even though we're on the weekly time frame, we could have a setup ready to go, but maybe next week, by the end of next week, into next week. So this is the setup. I'm gonna plot it down. And yeah, so if we get a break somewhere down here, our stop loss could be very tight, because once we get that break down here, it's if we do pop back up here, then we're probably going to go higher, and so we got to cut the bleeding short. And this is going to be take profit level, 2.5 risk to reward ratio, solid. So if you look to the weekly, you can see what the thought process is with this setup. Hopefully it makes sense to you, Big G Dub. And let me just look at the YouTube. The YouTube chat is very, very active today. That's nice. So Jenny, I'll look at gold. Thank you for your recommendation. That's what you were thinking, so that was awesome. I'm glad you were thinking short as well, Big G Dub. Dre Williams, 2,200 for the week. That is awesome. I like the top-down analysis. I started looking at the weekly this week of trading. The daily was too confusing for some reason this week. I decided to take a look at the weekly. So someone just made 2,200 this week. using top-down analysis. That's awesome. And, That's amazing. That's some people's monthly salary. So that's awesome. Yeah. So the thing about the daily this week in particular was we had the U.S. Iran stuff happen last weekend. Okay, and so the markets needed time to kind of understand what the hell just happened. And then we had the U.S. China trade deal being signed on Wednesday, so we had some consolidation for that as well. But next week is gonna be crazy. I'm letting you guys all know right now. It is gonna be ridiculous. So let's just go through the fundamental calendar for X Factory. So Monday we have the Bank of Japan outlook report, monetary policy statement. So this is why I don't want to enter the yen because of this. Also, the Bank of Japan is going to decide what they're going to do with their rates. And I think that's maybe kind of the reason why the yens were acting weird this week. But I don't want to make excuses. But it's going to be tentative, means it's going to be during the day, any time of the day. That's one thing. Then Tuesday we have some average earnings for the pound and some German economic sentiment. Pretty quiet. But then Wednesday comes around, CAD CPI, crazy. Then we have some CAD monetary policy during during the session itself. We have the Bank of Canada rate statement, and in the evening we have Aussie unemployment data and unemployment rate. So that is just ridiculous. And then Thursday, my lord, we have Thursday ECB monetary policy statement and NSD CPI, and then Friday, you don't want to see Friday. French PMI, German PMI, ECB President Lagarde speaks, flash manufacturing PMI for the pound. It's going to be crazy. Other than Tuesday, next week is going to be chaotic, and my mouth is watering. I'm excited because this volatility is what we love, especially when we use technicals, when we follow the levels. It's just going to be a good time. It's going to be really good. Can't wait. It's going to be a very, very nice week. So yeah, make sure you guys watch out for these events. There's a lot. You can go to Forex Factory or our portal. Our portal also has news, and there you can look at, and obviously Bloomberg Live, so you can watch the actual release of the news data. So dope. No problem, Nayas. Hopefully what'd you think for what's your thoughts on CGF pound? CGF yen. Okay, so Janny asked for gold. We're going to take a look at gold, and then we should be good. So gold was another trade that kind of just went against us. And our bold prediction from 2020, since I have the video open, let me pull it up, is a long on gold. Let me try to find that idea. So here's gold. Here's the one we did. And I'll actually send this link on. It's on our YouTube, so you can just type in both, Forex Lens bold predictions, and it'll come up. But you can see the idea. We have a long bias, and I'll explain in this video why we have that long bias. But that long bias is probably gonna happen. We tried to short it, and I don't blame. I mean, I do blame some of it on the U.S. Iran stuff. But look at this wick. This wick right here really faked us out for a short, and then we had to stay in the trade. Like this is just a crazy wick. So, that wick kind of screwed us over, and that's another reason why I don't use pending orders, because stuff like this happens, and we got kind of stuck in the trade. So this was I think a 60 pip loss. We went 50% of our initial position, because it's gold, but. It definitely sucked, but I mean, we can't really predict stuff like this happening. But I don't think any new world wars are going to be happening next week, and I think US and Iran are kind of done, so we should have normal conditions again. But the overall bold prediction from for 2020 has come back into play, and that's a long. So we go to the monthly, and I explain it in detail in this video, but just to recap. I mean, look at the size of this wick. Jesus Christ. In recap, very quickly, because I've been through this many times. This is the all-time high for gold, right at 1917. When we did make that high, we used this blue region as support for, I think a whole year and a half. And so you can see for the 6 months of 2019, the last 6 months, we just could not break above this level until we finally broke above. But this monthly candle is pretty suspect. It looks pretty bearish. But I did say if this closes bullish, a bit more bullish, we're definitely headed to make new highs for gold. So that's what I see. Janny, I wanted that intraday short this week. And the U.S. Iran stuff, the trade war, and whatever. This is a lot of stuff that was coming into play that just didn't let the idea happen. But thankfully, we have 11 and a half months to trade in 2020, so I'm not too worried. But I don't really see anything near term. I mean, let me just give it a look. Let's see if maybe the 1 hour could provide something. So, like, I mean, again, the 1 hour is like, if you look, it's been pretty much consolidating, right? So, if you drag this box, you can kind of see we've been consolidating, around this, it's just like 200 pip range since the start of the year. So it does kind of look like a short on the 1 hour. I don't know, let me know what you think, but honestly, gold disgusts me. I don't even want to look at it. And gold has been really kind to us last year. I think we only had like 2 trades hit stop loss for gold, but maybe next week we'll take a better look. But it's like, again, it's gearing up for a short. The higher time frame, if it closes, if that monthly candle closes bullish, then we're going long. But I mean, look, we're presenting a nice short opportunity to go long again. But this candle, I mean, this wick is just ridiculous. Maybe if we do get a break of this trend line, we can go short, but I really don't want to go against the long-term technicals, which are indicating a buy. But maybe we could have this. I don't want to promise anything right now. So this is not a setup that I'll be sending on Telegram because I don't have anything concise for it. Sometimes you just don't know, but quick question, in your opinion, damn, the chat's really active. Oh yeah, in your opinion, why do the pound pairs move so much per pip? Because they're valued more against other currencies. So if you go through, pound USD, pound CAD against any currency, the pound is usually valued more than any of them, any other one. So like, for example, EURUSD is at 1.2 to 1.30 sometimes. Pound yen can go as high as 1.40, 1.50, 1.60. Yeah, Jenny, that wick. So for example, I have Forex.com, and that's a U.S. and Canadian broker, and so they had this on their chart and on their MetaTrader, but my Trader's Way does not have it, so it is weird. I'll probably ask them why this happened, but to me it was a sense of false hope. But hopefully that helps. Hopefully that answers your question. At this point, I think we're good for this session. Awesome. So someone said, I'm looking for a long on CHF yen. Your analysis gave me more confidence. That's awesome. That's the whole thing. I'm just here as kind of another tool to help you with your trading and give you that confidence. So at this point, I'm going to be giving you guys a 25% off coupon code, and EURUSD is going to continue to melt. Hopefully it chills out now because I'd rather have it melt on Sunday and Monday when we enter. But anyways, the coupon code is 2525, capital O, capital F, capital F. This is for your first month, and you use this over here, forexlens.com/forex-trading-room. Sign up for full access. What this means is you're going to get every session, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 5 signal providers, including me. If you're a free member, you only get Monday and Friday. So if you're enjoying these sessions, make sure you sign up, take advantage, get 25% off your first month. And yeah, most people make back their fee their first week or even first day, depending on their account size. But yeah, so how do you find us on Telegram? Just go on Telegram, and on the search, just type at the at symbol, the Forex Lens. Message there, and the support agents will take care of you and answer any questions you have. So I think that's a good spot to end this session. I will have another free session on Monday if you still have doubts and you need some further confirmation of if this is for you. Before I end this session, make sure you subscribe to YouTube. We post daily content every day, educational, for free. We also put some recaps of the session to see how we're doing. Also follow us on TradingView. So on TradingView, this is our handle. I also upload a trade idea once a day on TradingView. It's usually Forex, but I also upload crypto, Forex lens. So yeah, give us a follow, leave some comments. Chart work every single day. TradingView's been hating on us, flagging our ideas. I don't know why, but yeah. So I'm RP Forex. I run the sessions. Monday's another one at the same time, 11 a.m. Eastern. 25% coupon code. If you want to be a free member, you can definitely sign up here. But we have a really, really good promotion for this, so why not take advantage? With that being said, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. Take a time to regroup. Do some other things other than Forex, because back on Monday we're gonna be back at full force, and I can't wait. So with that being said, peace and happy trading. Actually, don't happy trading. Go jogging. Go jogging. All right.